This is my review of that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Okay, so in this episode we meet a few new characters, kind of, sort of. In this episode, the first half is mainly Rimuru learning how to use his new powers that he inherited from Shizu when he took her form. And you also find out that he's androgynous, so he's neither male nor female, but he's mistaken as a small girl anyway. Because, of course he is. And we also do find out that Gobta is in fact, as with every other anime I have seen, as I said, every anime has that one acceptable pervert. Gobta is apparently him. I mean, it was really only in one sentence, but he did make a comment about Rimuru's breasts, which he doesn't have. So, you know, I mean, he got kicked in the face for it, but Rimuru did acknowledge it, and they did acknowledge that, yes, he is the acceptable pervert. And anyway, as he's testing his new powers, he suddenly gets a distress call from Ranga, who informs him via psychic communication that they've been attacked. And Rimuru rushes onto the scene wearing the mask that Shizu had left behind, because he managed to repair it with his reparation skills. He was able to analyze and repair it, and was able to use it to appear as a normal slime, or as a normal human, or whatever. But he approaches where they were fighting and realizes that a couple of ogres have attacked and or put several of his men to sleep, mainly because they think he's the guy that attacked their village, and we know it's not. We know it's the guy from the last episode with the plague doctor mask. I forget what his name is, but it's heavily implied that it's that guy, because he attacked with a bunch of orcs and destroyed the ogre village. So we know that, and we know that the guy, that the pig monster he found might have been an ogre. So yeah, and Rimuru tries to talk his way out of it and explain that he's not their enemy, but they won't listen. And he has Ranga hold off the one mage, the girl with pink hair, while he goes in and attacks them all 5-on-1. And they both have no real way of damaging each other. Rimuru is not really trying to kill them, and the ogres are trying to kill him, but they can't, because he's a slime and he can just regenerate whatever damage they deal to him, as demonstrated by the fact that he got his arm cut off and just picked up the arm, put it back on, and regrew the entire arm right back. And then eventually it's the pink-haired girl who speaks up and comes to Rimuru's defense and points out that if Rimuru had been the guy who destroyed the village, he would have done it himself, because he wouldn't have relied on such underhanded tactics, because he could have destroyed them all single-handedly. And the fact that the guy that attacked their village didn't do that definitely is a sure sign that this is not the same guy. And then the ogres all apologize, and Rimuru reveals that he is in fact just a slime, and that he only takes a human form for local appearances and stuff like that. And then invites them all back to their feast to make amends and all that. Because as he points out, yes, some people were injured, but nobody was killed, and it's fine. So, yeah. And that's where the episode ends. So now we know that the plague doctor dude attacked the ogre village for no real reason with his army of orcs. I don't really know why. I'm assuming that's going to be important in the narrative. So nobody spoil that for me. I already know for a fact that this guy's going to be important. But yeah, Rimuru did show a bit of power. He's able to create new skills using one of Shizu's old skills, which is called G-Generation, which enables him to combine two new skills to make a new one. And he can also break skills apart. So it's definitely a little interesting thing that he can do now. And he also does do a little thing about doing the body duplication, because he has Ifrit's powers as well. So he can duplicate So in addition to all of Ifrit's powers, including duplication, he also now has all of Shizu's powers. So he's gotten a lot more powerful as a result. And he also does, but there's also a little scene in here where as he's testing his powers, he finds out that, yes, he can in fact change the appearance of his avatar to be either masculine or feminine, but decides to go with the androgynous route because he felt it would be disrespectful to Shizu. So he just he keeps the default form that he has. But yeah, this episode was interesting. So it doesn't definitely set up Plague Doctor guy as the big bad. I'm sorry, I forget what his name is, but he's definitely important. So he's got to be important to the story, and I'm assuming he's going to be one of the big bads of the series, because he did just attack a village for no real reason. So, yeah, and now I'm assuming that the Ogres are going to make peace with the goblins or the hobgoblins or whatever they are now, and become part of the village, because they're featured prominently in the OP and the ending cutscenes of the OP and anime and all that. They're featured prominently, so I'm assuming they're going to become major characters, but we haven't gotten names for any of them yet. So, for right now, I'm not entirely sure where the series is going to go, but it's clear that they're going to become an important part of the series going forward. And definitely Rimuru is going to have to deal with some real big threats going forward. But for right now, I just want to know if you guys have seen this episode, that time I was reincarnated as a slime. What did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below, as I post my videos to my Facebook and Twitter feeds, because the sub boxes are broken, whereas they are not. And also check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. It's only $1 to $20 a month, and each tier has increasing benefits. I've highlighted a video somewhere on the channel. But if you guys want to see that, then yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! I put some into the oil sword because I unlocked that, but I haven't done anything with it.